Okay, yeah, so first things first. We're going to go ahead and take our curved needle and set that up. A lot of times what you'll see is people will get like 3 or 4 curved needles and like go ahead and thread them. I take off as much thread as I can stand at one time. And that's just because, you know, the thread can get tangled. It's thread. But, you know, just take off as much as you can handle at one time. And go ahead and thread your curved needle. Okay, so we have threaded our curved needle. And I'm just doubling the thread pretty much. Some people try to work with single thread. And I mean, it can be done. I've done it before, but I prefer double thread just because, you know, if one thread breaks or something like that, then, you know, you kind of got the other thread to kind of catch it. So, the way I'm ending this thread here, trying to straighten it out, I'm just going to tie it in a knot, like so. There we go. Like unravel, like sometimes that twists around. Make sure that's straight before you start sewing, because it's a pain to get a knot in the thread as you're sewing and then have to cut it off and rethread and start again on that weft. So go ahead and straighten out the thread before you start sewing. Next, we are going to take our weft. It has these little twist ties, and just untwist the ties, and we're going to unravel the hair. Okay, you guys, so I unravel the hair, and it's all out and nice untangled weft. Look at the beautiful. I love this hair. This is beautiful. Anyway, so I'm going to start sewing. What I like to do is I like to loop it around my back like that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here and just going to sew straight across, and the hair is just going to sit on, you know, my hairline down there, if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can turn right here on the hairline, and then I'm going to fold it back. I'm not going to cut these ones, and I'm going to go the opposite direction, and down in the bottom I'm probably going to go like 1 inch apart, but as I get to the top I'm going to go a lot closer together. So let's get started. And here we go. Okay, I just lay it down there. The first one, I like to go through the track. You can sew around the braid or through the braid. It really doesn't matter. Whatever you feel more secure with. Make sure the thread is untangled. And the reason why I'm holding the thread like this with my 2 fingers is because I don't want the knot to just slip through the braid. I'm going to open this thread. Like that. And I'm going to put the needle through. Okay? And I'm going to pull all the thread through. And there we go. And as you can see, it kind of locks that stitch in place. You don't have to lock every stitch in place. As a matter of fact, I think that's unnecessary. You can do it here and there, but every stitch, no, you don't have to do it. The way I like to sew is I sew under the weft, and I bring this around my needle like that, and I pull it through. I don't wrap it around the needle. Some people does that. I don't really care for it. And to smooth out my stitch, I pull it this way and then I pull it back, and it kind of like tightens up the stitch. When you need your weft to kind of really sit still, I would sew through the weft. But other than that, you don't really have to unless you want to. I do like to tack it down here and there, so I'll sew through the weft. Just here and there, not all over. the best place to sew through the weft is usually any place where it's a little more bulk. When I say bulk, I mean the hair, your natural hair, when it's more bulk. It's best to sew through the weft there just to keep it tacked down and in place. Doing this, the ends I always sew through the weft at the very end where I'm about to fold, and that's just so everything stays in place. You know, one thing slide around. I'm going to go up to about here. And the less things slide around, the less friction you have on your natural hair. So if you want, you can go ahead and pretty much, you know, sew through the weft and lock it in place, like, lock it in place throughout the whole head if you want. Okay, I'm going to show you guys real quick how you can lock it in place. Instead of just going through and wrapping the thread around the needle once, like that, you could wrap it around a couple times, like that, maybe 2 or 3 times. I hope you guys saw that, and you can pull it through. I'm not going to do that yet. I'm just going to lock it in place once, like that. Okay, and that's pretty secure. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the thread forward. I'm going to take the hair and fold it back the opposite direction, and I'm going to start sewing it down. Just bring the hair over my shoulder and sew it down about 1 inch above the weft that you just did. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and go all the way up to about right here, and then I'll come back to you guys.